Let's talk about buildability score. We all know that this is one of the forms that we need to fill out whenever we are submitting to BCA. And one of these parts here would be, of course, to put in the summary of our development. So let's just put a random number for now. Let's put in maybe a non-residential and put in a GFA that we have probably have gotten approved from URA, and just make sure this is ticked over here so we can use one of the sheets. So the things that we need to fill out here would be, of course, the different lengths and areas for the different entities in our building. The structural system will, of course, be for the engineer. And let's just move straight to the wall system, which is for the architect to fill out. So over here, we have a few types of walls that we need to fill in. We need to determine whether they're external, internal, and put in the length of the corresponding walls. So normally, what would happen is that we need to make sure that we click all the right points in our model. We need to measure and add all of these up just to be able to put these lengths over here. And we know that when we submit to BCA, it's not a one-time thing. Of course, there will be redesigns, resubmissions, maybe changes from construction during the construction phase. So there are several times that we need to submit this. And it takes up a lot of time for us to be able to measure all these lengths. So in BricsCAD, we can see how this can be done. Let's see here, there is one model over here. What we can do is just to see what elements we have. Let's concentrate on, of course, the walls. In BricsCAD, we have something we call the structure browser. And we can see here we have our building elements. This is the building. And under the building, we have the different floor levels. So let's say we want floor 1, floor 2, floor 3, and so on and so forth. And each of these would have each of the slabs, stair, wall, etc. Let's go to floor 2, and we also find the same types of elements, and they're being highlighted in the model as we go. So there is another way to see these to make sure that we lump in all our walls in one category, and that's through the specific configuration of the structure tree. So let's use another one which we customize to make sure that the building elements are shown per type. So let's go into the wall, let's select this wall, and all the walls will be selected. Let's just expand this a bit so we see a few more things. So this cavity front wall is pertaining to the external walls that we have here, and interior walls will be, of course, the interior walls inside. So one of the things that we can do in BricsCAD is to have properties. So let's go to Properties panel, and we'll see here that we've already added in a BCA Buildability part of this Properties panel just to correspond with what we have in the Buildability Score form. So we can determine whether they're external, internal. So for these internal walls, we have already determined that they are, yes, internal. And we have a few more of the categories over here that correspond with the BCA form. So let's click on these walls, which will be our external walls, and we'll see what we have done over here. We have external, which would be, of course, a yes for these walls, and we have determined that these are actually concrete walls and precast concrete walls with plastering, tile, and stone. So we have the choices that comes with the BCA form as well. So we have chosen with plastering, tile, and stone for this set of walls. So now, if you notice here, we still lack one of the categories, which would be the brick wall. So let's see how we can add that very easily. So let's just go to the Data tab and go to the Properties dialog over here. And we see here the list of all the properties that we've already added, and these correspond to these properties on our right side. And the title here is BCA Buildability pertaining to the wall system. So let's just add one property, which is the brick wall that's missing. Brick wall / block wall. And then over here, we can put in also the same wording that the BCA has. And let's see what that was. It was brick wall with or without plastering to include the length of use. Maybe let's shorten it, with or without plastering. Just going back to BricsCAD with or without plastering. So we just make sure that we match everything, and let's click on OK and OK. And once we select any of the walls over here, we already have this particular property available for us to select. So we have determined that the walls that we put out over here are internal. So there is a yes over here. And I'll just put in with or without plastering, so it doesn't really matter for this category. And this property is already assigned to these walls. What we want to happen now is to extract the length of these walls altogether. So we can use a data extraction in BricsCAD, and using one DXB file, which is a data extraction file that we have already set up for this buildability score. Let's use this buildability wall internal brick, and let's open that and go to next, and let's just select some entities to extract from. That will be the interior walls. Let's isolate them just so we can select them easier. And let us go to the next part of this. We are selecting information from the solids, yes, and you'd see here the list of all the properties that are in the wall properties on the panel on the right side as well. So we have these brick block wall that we added earlier. We determined it was internal, so we want to pick out internals. And then we of course want to get out the length of all these walls. There are a lot more of the properties over here. So next time, let's say you want to get the precast concrete walls, that will be checking this one. You see that this is also the category that matches the properties panel where we put in that wording. So let's just go to next over here, and we can name this actually to maybe internal brick walls, and then click on save. We are saving it as a CSV file so that we can open it up on Excel. So once that's done, we find in our main folder that we have this internal brick wall now, and we can open that Excel file. Let's just check what happened here. We have our brick wall, block wall. This is what we selected, and then it's all internal, so yes. And then this is the most important column, of course, to get out the lengths of all these walls. So very easily we can just sum up all these lengths and enter. So we have 212578. So when we go back to our buildability score form, we can put in here internal in this column and brick wall 212578, enter. And we all know that the buildability form will actually calculate this for us. So you can get all these links very easily with BricsCAD and put it directly into your buildability score form to submit to BCA.